going on, everybody? And welcome back to the A Show, the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcasts. And yes, we are awesome. I'm Justin, here with Meelz, episode 196.
196, man. Wow. You know what's wild? We're on episode 96 of The Lookout. So now I'm getting like a little like, first of all, I have to plan 2 big shows. You know what I'm saying? Because episode 100 of The Lookout is coming up soon. And then episode 200 of this is coming next month. It's coming imminently. 196 means there's 4 weeks. That means there's 1 month into the show. So yeah, we got some stuff. We got to figure some stuff out. We got to get some stuff planned, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm glad to be here. Anything special happened to you in the last week? Anything amazing?
Wrestling is amazing. I think we got a really optimistic, positive show today.
I think so too. Yeah, it gave it good vibes. Good vibes this week. The people are back. The power is back. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. I've never anticipated an episode of SmackDown more than I did on Friday when I literally sat there. SmackDown starts at 8:00. I got ready 7:50 something. I had food. I had snacks. I had everything kind of rocking because.
What did you eat? What did you eat?
Shit. What did I eat? God, now I got to go back in my Uber Eats. Yo, Uber Eats.
Oh my god.
Yo. I could set my watch to it, man. I had Popeyes.
Oh, okay.
I had Popeyes. Yeah, sorry. I know it's triggering. I had Popeyes. Or did I? Wait, let's see. What day was the fact I can set my Uber Eats to think, yo, don't be like me because I don't cook. I just order food. Yeah, I think it was Popeyes. I definitely had Popeyes. I came in from outside. Where did I go? I went to return. Oh, boom. There's the story. I went to return the worst pair of sneakers I've ever worn on the sneakers app ever.
What?
The retro blue 3s that just
I wouldn't know. What made you? I saw you say that, and I said, what made you want those?
So it wasn't want. It was more so now because I'm on sneakers app every 3 days or so, just trying anything. To feel something, you know. I accidentally hit on it, and by hit on it, I was just like, "Wow, I actually won." But then, like looking at it now, no one wanted the shoe.
It was a brick from like jump.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. So, funny story. Jamal, who's also on the Big Eyes podcast, one of our earliest encounters was his dad got him a pair of the Mocha 3s. But he got him, I think it might have been a little bit too big for him or something along those lines. So he didn't even like say like, yo, I'll sell it to you. He says, I'll give them to you. And I was like, what? What an amazing friend.
And Jamal is an amazing guy. He is a great
Jamal
guy.
is amazing. He's like amazing times 10. This is like my best friend. So he gave me those shoes and I wore them. Just so many compliments. I want to buy them over again. But this retro blue thing was trying to get the feeling of that again because they're similar, except one is blue, one isn't. Like when I tell you I wear these mochas and I make them work like in a business casual setting. Like I can get them off with some slacks, I can get them off with some jeans, I can get them off with like some sweatpants. You can get them off anywhere.
Yeah, so, but there's a clear delineation between the fact that the mochas had never been retro before 2018. And these racer blue 3s, which literally look like some back to school sneakers. Like I don't know.
My niece definitely called them Walmart Jordans. But so I get them, and I'm like, okay, let me look at them. I opened them. Oh my god, the detail on the little, what are they called? The little concrete things. What is that? What is that part called? It's just the design, I guess.
Oh, it's the cement.
Yeah, there we go. The cement. Oh my god, the detail on them was terrible. It was the worst. It was probably the worst attempt at them that I've ever seen. So I made a conscious decision then. I was like, yo, if I don't like them, I'm just going to return them. Because sometimes I buy things and I'm just like, I'm going to look at them in person. And if I don't want them, I'm just going to return it. I didn't even bother to sell them because I would have made less money than returning them. Like I didn't.
Okay, so I brought up StockX here. This is not an ad. They don't sponsor us at all.
Sure.
What's your size? 10.5, right?
10.5.
Yeah.
Same as you, huh? Same?
Nah,
No?
no,
No?
10, 10,
Oh,
10.
all right. Well,
I got the most popular shoe size, so yeah, you know how hard
I
it is for me.
to be honest with you, if something happens, some sort of morbid incident happens with you, I would like to be included in some sort of thing where I get your sneakers somehow.
You're gonna
Just
squeeze your feet into those?
more specifically those dunks with the skulls on them that I've been looking at for years. The first time I ever found your Instagram and I scrolled down your Instagram and I saw those shoes, I was like, wow.
He's talking about the Nike SB Melvins, which I
Yeah, there we
got.
go.
I got
And
those
then I looked at
over.
them on I looked for them on fuck, where did the stupid store that's always on Complex? Um Flight Club.
Flight Club, yeah, or Stadium Goods. Shout out to Rob.
Yeah, yeah. I looked at them on Flight Club and I was like, nah, never mind.
Well, I mean, 10.5 Mocha resale is $325. So after StockX taxes, they tax the hell out of you. It'll probably be around $365, maybe. I'm just guessing. But it's usually around $20 to $30 higher after taxes with me. Racer Blue 3s. Are you ready for this? All right,
No.
you should have looked at StockX before you did this.
No, I did. So I won them, and then I looked at StockX, and I was just like, I'm just gonna return them.
Yeah, like $222. Like it's barely above retail. I mean, you cut taxes
then the
out.
then you cut this. StockX is a fucking slumlord. Then you cut their taxes out, and it's like it might be like 190. Like it might be actually like retail price, no tax, flat for the shoe.
I've been going crazy. I had to calm down. I had to relax.
I've seen. For someone who works remotely, you are out of your mind.
I've been going crazy. Okay, like I literally told my fiance, I can't get anything else. Well, the thing is, I want the lightnings that come out in August. But after that, I'm done. I swear.
You're lying. You're lying.
There's nothing else I want. I got my Grails. I got my Cause 4s. I got my Travis Scott Lows. What else Grails did I get?
I really won a pair of Dunks the other day. I won the royal blue Dunk joints.
The highs. The Dunk thing is so funny because people are trying to like resell them at like this super high price, and I'm telling you, all you got to do is sit on them for a minute, or sit on your wallet for a minute, and you'll be able to get them for a really good price. Like all the Dunks I've got are for like not crazy prices. Like those Dunks you talked about, the Game Royals are only like $145 in my size. I could get them right now.
Yeah. But here's the thing: I wanted Dunks since I was in high school, but I was never like, my parents were never like, buy sneakers over $100. What the fuck is wrong with you? So I never got them. So I've wanted certain Dunks for like years. So this is actually the first pair of Dunks I've ever gotten in my life.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is, because I'm a creative, I'm going to swap the laces out. I don't like the laces. I'm gonna get a new pair of laces, and they're gonna look fly. So watch out the internet.
That's a meal. That's such a Meelz thing.
Should we do an RNC? Should we do an RNC radio sneaker account?
We could. I mean, bring them out. We could get Brian.
How many people in our group that like?
I am a sneaker con. You know what I mean? I am a sneaker con myself.
Listen, we can do it. We can make it work.
There's a bunch of stuff that I just don't wear though. I know people are like, these motherfuckers just stunting blindly with with our. Be clear, we're not buying anything.
No,
we're not skimming off the top of the Patreon budget for this. This is not.
We have plans for the Patreon money, and they are sneaker related.
Yeah, they're not sneaker related. So they are things that that do involve you guys. But I mean, we would never do that. It's going right back into the content. So we got. Do we have news? I mean, a lot of the news was kind of folded into the weekend. So
I feel like we typically don't talk about SmackDowns when we have pay-per-views, but I feel like the SmackDown was so prominent that I feel like we need to, if there's any news this week, if anyone said anything crazy, or if anyone if Cody Rhodes did anything wild, anything of the sort, I think we can leave it to another week.
Okay. Yeah. No. I
And
mean, nothing.
yeah.
Nothing really happened. Nothing. Nothing. I mean,
Oh, your man Jay White. He showed up to Impact Wrestling. How did you feel about that?
Uh, listen. Impact has never given me a reason to be confident about their product. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how many X Division matches you put on and how many solid main events you have, I'm not. The rest of it is still Impact. Okay.
Right.
So I read the spoilers of Chris Bay. This is spoilers. Okay.
This
So
is
if you
OD
don't,
spoilers.
yeah, super spoilers. So if you don't want to listen to this, let me do a time. Let me do a timestamp right here. So I'm starting at
Let's do
29.
skip 30 seconds. Just skip 30 seconds and we'll talk about it for 30
No, skip
seconds.
skip about 30 seconds starting now. So I read about Chris Bay joining the Bullet Club and joining Jay White. They're still taking losses. They get beat by the Good Brothers at the tapings. So Jay White is there, still not looking like Jay White. Like he's still looking like just some guy. They're not treating him like he's any more important or special. So why the fuck should I be excited about this shit at all? I'm pretty sure
Right.
the people there's people that didn't skip 30 seconds on this segment because they don't give a shit about Impact.
Right.
Literally, because there's no faith in that. In spoilers.
I think Impact. I mean, it's always going to be there if you need it. They're obviously trying a lot of things. They have that like 4-way relationship between AAA, New Japan, AEW, and them. But you kind of look at it sometimes like, what do they get out of it? You know what I'm saying? Do they get exposure? No one really. Impact not even really on that many channels. You know what I'm saying? I don't get Impact on anything.
It's on Twitch.
It's on Twitch, I guess. But yeah, I guess, yeah. I gotta go on Twitch, yeah. But
yeah.
Never really. This was probably the biggest moment that they've had the year thus far, but it's still not really. You kind of know how this is going to end up. This is similar to kind of how most things end up, where they use the resources, they use the time, they use everything to kind of pad their own careers, and then what happens to Impact Wrestling?
Well, I mean, this is all in service of the Bound for Glory that will be combining AEW, New Japan, AAA, and Impact talent. We don't know who exactly is coming over. I would imagine not any of the top tier New Japan talent.
No,
That's where
I don't even think many of the top tier AEW talent. Chris Jericho went on a thing. It was like, yo, why would I show up there? Are you
there is a AEW talent that shows up, but it's someone who used to be an Impact. In the spoilers, I'm gonna let you guys guess who that is, but it's someone who's already been there before.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, it's cool that they are combining like that, but it's like it would be even more impactful if they came over to AEW and not the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like this doesn't mean much in the larger scheme of things for Impact, and no matter what people say, like I have no faith in the product at all. I'm sorry. Like Jay White is one of the most hottest up and coming guys to me. He's 26, 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in New Japan he's done all he could do. I do agree with that. I think at ROH he's pretty much kind of reached the ceiling there too. There's really only two spots for him, and that's AEW and WWE. And my thing is, if he goes to AEW, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna watch. I'll add him to the Kenny matches that I watch. I'll watch Jay White because I fought with him. He's someone who I vehemently did not like, and then he improved the character. He improved, and he's one of the few people in New Japan that kind of was from the ground up with them, and that really did improve. So like, if he does go to AEW, I'll watch. If he goes to WWE, I'm gonna watch obviously for the show. But it's like Impact. That's not getting me this. That's not getting me to flip the channel. And from what the spoilers are saying, what he's doing over there, that's not making me do it either. I'm glad that they got him. Good job.
Good job. That's all we got to say. Let's get into the weekend full of fans, starting with Friday Night SmackDown, and let's kind of go through SmackDown. We'll go through Money in the Bank, and we'll kind of end up on Raw. Friday Night SmackDown, once again, the chills, everything of the sort, and I think something we have to attribute this to that's been getting a lot of praise over the last number of days. Just got to give a praise. Of course, I was down on him last year, but I can't ignore what Pat McAfee has done for Friday Night SmackDown and the voice that he provides for Friday Night SmackDown, and once again the revitalization of Michael Cole, who admitted himself in an interview, he's doing damn good, and the energy along with the crowd was just something very, very. It was just amazing on a Friday Night SmackDown. How did you feel about Vince McMahon showing up for 7 seconds and then leaving?
It was good. It was good. I mean, it should be what it is. I think Vince has done a fantastic job of keeping himself scarce on these shows for the past couple of years, unless he absolutely has to show up. I thought it was funny.
Stockholders don't like that nigga wrestling.
No. That's over with. Getting headbutt and shit. They're like, you ain't doing that shit no more. I thought it was again, like I texted you, I was like, wow, this first 10 minutes was crazy.
Just the entrances alone, you know what I'm saying? Roman Reigns' entrance finally in full context now. It was a sight to see. It was even, they had the Usos kind of come even afterwards, and I was still okay with that because it gave a very like, it's like an energy of like pace that we got to keep this thing moving. It felt like the first time for live television in a long time, like fully actual live television.
Yeah, this week felt like it's something that you're gonna go back and tell people years from now. That we had this crazy, and we're still in this. Let's be clear, but we had this crazy circumstance happen where we couldn't do this, and now we can do it again. And where were you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what were you doing when the fans came back? And what did they add? And as much as we had to review these shows last year and earlier this year, and we had to leave that part out, we had to pretty much come up with our own reactions to this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we couldn't really analyze it that much if the fans fuck with it or not. Now we have a conversation where it's like, fans really fucked with this, or they really fuck with this person. They need to go with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the challenge with WWE right now, is that after all of this first time stuff runs out, and this is going to be going for a while, because they're going to be hitting a lot of places for the first time in a year. for the rest of the year. But once these run out, who should they be listening to? You know what I'm saying? Who should they be going for? And I think we get a pretty good idea of who these people are this time around.
Friday Night SmackDown, the way it kicked off, just kind of the first 30 minutes of the show, kicking off with that six-man tag team match, Edge and the Mysterios. First of all, Mysterios.
Can we talk about Edge's pop?
Oh, of course. I was going to talk about Mysterio, the Mysterios coming through a portal.
Oh yeah.
Just dressed up and just walking through a portal.
Well, that was on a pay-per-view.
Oh, all right, never mind.
That wasn't on SmackDown. That was on a pay-per-view, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, fuck it. Edge's pop was massive. It was, and Unreal. It gave me all the chills. You know what I'm saying? Like Unreal. The energy that he gives out and the energy that they give him back, and it felt live. Like not even live as just like live television, but live as in terms of electricity, like like flowing through you, goosebumps. That's how I felt. Like SmackDown, just from top to bottom, was a show that delivered, and we got what we got. I'm not even gonna go into the results of this because we got to the result of it during Money in the Bank. Yeah. Friday Night Smack. Go ahead.
Other things that stood out to me on SmackDown. Tony Storm is coming next week.
Tony Storm, listen. You got your what did you say? You got your clappers ready?
Yeah, you hear that clapping? She on the way. I think it's a great move. I think SmackDown is bolstered already. Obviously, also was announced, PW Insider, Naomi is coming over to SmackDown. She's being swapped. We don't know for who yet, but she is on SmackDown now.
They don't got to put a swap. Just move her. It's all in the family. Just move her.
I feel like they've done this before also.
SmackDown ain't got no women to move. Unless you're moving Carmella so she could be a Corey Graves. They ain't got nobody to move.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens on Friday, but I think overall the vibe was just so spectacular. Nakamura's entrance.
You gotta talk about your man. You gotta talk about your man. How we burying the lead?
Oh man, come on, man! Don't do this to me, man. I'm blushing, man. Come on, man. I'm blushing, man. No, Finn Balor's back. I love it. I love it for him. I wish it was Raw, but I get why it wasn't. There needs to be more after like Big E. There isn't really much babyface wise. Nakamura is kind of on his own island. I think he's like an upper mid Carter. My thing is like, and I feel this way, and I'm going to be a lot more critical of this run, of the second run, because of what it, you know what I'm saying, because of how he ran it in NXT, right? So I feel like nothing but championships for this guy. If this ends in nothing less than a WWE title or a Universal title run, it's a failure to me.
We're going to talk about it later, but the priorities of NXT and the main roster are completely different, and we're going to talk about that quite a bit later.
It's still Finn though.
I felt, I didn't feel, and then maybe it's because they kind of just like dropped him out of nowhere. Instead of like doing the promos where you're kind of reestablishing this character of him being the prince and him being this badass. I think if we get that, we're heading in the right direction, because more so than him winning all these matches, because he won matches. I mean, we had a conversation a couple years back about how he wasn't winning matches, but he won a fair amount of matches on his first run. But what's really going to be different? Are we going to establish him as a sort of character that's beyond just the demon? Are we going to give him a persona that really radiates with the crowd and establishes in his own footing on the roster? I think that will be a much more indicative of success than as of right now. But I do think we get to the WWE Championship and stuff. But I would rather see a change and evolution in his character more than anything, because I think he needs that to really stay long term.
Yeah, I mean, NXT's proven that he can be that. He can be that character for them.
Absolutely.
And he's not coming back as a heel, which I know a lot of people are kind of apprehensive about, but it's like there's a lot of heels on that show. And in order for him to be like that, he was like the top guy over at NXT. He's not that. So like it goes to what you're saying, like the priorities are different. Finn could be the top heel over there. He can't really do that right now with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns encapsulates everything, and then you got Apollo right after him. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't do that. So it's like, to me, my idea for Finn right now would be to get through the Sammy thing and go on to Apollo, get the IC title, and then kind of go into whatever, whatever happens after that. I don't know if the thing is, the Roman Finn match is good, and we know it's good. and if they wanted to do that match and pull the trigger on that, you're looking at match of the year territory right there with these two guys.
Absolutely.
So like there's a lot of places that Finn could go, and Roman has another dance partner in the babyface side that he hasn't beaten yet with Finn. So we got that right there, and there's a story there because Finn's beaten him before. So yeah,
absolutely. Other notes from Friday Night SmackDown, I'll say, it looks like Shotzi and Knox are now number one contenders for the SmackDown Women's Tag Team WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. So them being the only tag team on SmackDown surely benefited them, because they had to beat the champs to get the number one contender thing, and they've surely done that. It looks like they're going to get a title shot soon. Do you give them the titles? Are you kind of done with the whole Natalya and Tamina thing right now?
I thought we were going to wait till Money in the Bank discussion to talk about these two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can definitely wait. Wait.
But I'll say this before then. We have moved.
Talk about Shotzi and Knox then. Talk about Shotzi and Knox.
Good. I think when you talk about, again, priorities, there are a couple exceptions to that rule. And I know we're going to talk about the Karrion thing, but it's like there are quite a bit of exceptions to that rule. More so sometimes with the women more than the men, but like there are a lot of exceptions to that rule for NXT. Karrion might be a special case though, and we'll get to that. But I love the way they're positioned. We got to get them to do some promos. We got to get some character stuff with them. I think we got to get more. We got to get more from them.
Absolutely. And speaking about the women as well, Bianca Belair versus Carmella, SmackDown Women's Championship. Carmella can go when she wants to go. That's all I'll say.
I put some respect on her name. I thought it was a really good match. I think Bianca, again, what are we gonna do? What do you want to say? What more do you want to say about this woman?
Well, the elephant in the room is all the reports, everything pointed to July 16th and pointed to Sasha Banks being on the show. Now, the entire weekend has gone by, haven't heard a whisper of Sasha Banks. Do you feel like this? Are we still getting this? Where do we go here?
Sasha got to get the second shot, man.
She got to get the shot. But not before Carmella, because this Friday at Rolling Loud.
Yes, sir.
Carmella versus Bianca Belair, the rematch, Rolling Loud. What else is going to be featured on Rolling Loud?
It is going to be Big E versus Apollo. Is the second match. Yeah.
Listen. And
Send the niggas.
Fair enough. I mean, why not? At this point, I don't know if they know Rolling Loud's audience, but I'm not completely sure how many black people.
A lot. Come on, a lot of people. Okay. A lot of black people go to that. All right,
listen.
Yeah. I do feel like
might be a little stringy-haired white kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
repping SmackDown. Those are to me the.
Talking about how babyface Ray is the best rapper of all time. You know what I'm saying? Little stringy hair white kids.
I think if anything, that's the WWE version of the hip hop generation right there. That, I mean, I can't think of anybody better to go. I mean, you're not sending fucking Dolph Ziggler over there. Like,
you gotta send. Listen, we're gonna talk about Jeff Hardy in a bit, but it could have sent Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's a social media maven this week. Wasn't even featured on Money in the Bank, but was trending the day after.
He was on Raw, man. He's on Raw.
All right. I mean, yeah, you're right. Also, I guess closing up thoughts on sort of SmackDown. Otis, he's mean. He's terrible. He's beating up Cesaro now.
Did someone think he was getting pushed after Mania?
Oh, y'all thought he was Cesaro?
Whoa! I know y'all.
There was a y'all. There was a heavy y'all. I mean,
they know y'all. I'm not part of y'all.
So here's the thing. Channing and I were very adamant in that we got to see where this goes. Will they keep this strong? So they gave him the Seth match, and then they gave him the Roman program, which was like, we told you guys, which is fair. But then after this Roman program, he is sniffing Otis. You know what I'm saying? And he got pushed and then shoved into a thing. He getting beat up by Otis. Who's supposed to save Cesaro?
Someone who's
going to save Cesaro? And then he'll be stuck in a tag team again. This is a Cesaro, the Cesaro cycle. This is Cesaro cycle. First of all, there's also WWE sneakily, I guess in a dark match, premiered Harry Smith.
Yes,
he's back. He's the tackiest nigga in wrestling.
He is tacky.
He cannot dress. He cannot dress.
He can go, but he also is an anti-vaxxer. So we got that.
Listen, this man, he invented tacky. He invented disgusting accessories, adding to even more disgusting wear. Harry Smith can go everywhere but shopping.
He can go.
He can go. If he ends up in a tag team with if he ends up in a tag team with Cesaro, hey, what are you gonna do? And then final thing from SmackDown.
I thought that was the final thing.
No. We got one more. Have you gone to a certain website lately? Corbin Fund.
Oh yeah,
that was amazing. Baron Corbin being broke is
doing it right. They got to do a little bit more to make him sympathetic, man. A little bit more.
Where do we go? What would you like seeing done with Baron Corbin?
Explain how he can come to work and not get paid.
That's an Adam Pearce conversation. That's whole talk right there.
Did they cut his pay?
Because he lost the crown.
Yeah,
maybe he was trying to live a lifestyle he can no longer afford, and that's why he looks so desolate.
Even still, how you behind on your mortgage payments that far? What was you spending your money on?
That's a lot of mortgage, baby. Come on, he was spending on expensive meats. Expensive meats.
You talking about Wagyu beef? Talking about Wagyu beef? Something like
you got all the subscriptions, baby. Come on,
talk about the Wagyu beefs, man. Come on, man.
You got all the big meats in the country getting sent to his house a month.
You think the baby having problems eating Wagyu beef?
Yo, the baby got problems with them little things that come out of his head that he call a hairstyle. That's what you got. Think you need to figure that shit out.
Well, him and Baron both got hair problem. They need plugs.
Now Baron Corbin being broke is the best thing ever. That's all I'll say about that. That's all I'm about to say. Let's have the Money in the Bank.
Okay.
You want to do Money in the Bank? Then we'll do a break and then we head to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. Money in the Bank 2021. Where was it? Fort Worth, Texas. Wherever they do that at. What were your overall, before we get into like kind of the high points of the thing, what were your overall thoughts of the show?
I mean, it's in the running for pay-per-view of the year.
Has to be. This is one with people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not even that. I mean, well, yes, they enhanced greatly, but I think that if this had happened in the Dome,
if Charlotte Rhea happens in the Dome, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah. But it would have been a great match that no one will be coming back to. I think people will rewatch this match, and they did.
I think Charlotte. One of the things that having a live crowd improves was the fact that, I guess you can talk about Charlotte and Rhea as of right now and just knock the shit out the way. They obviously, this match started with Becky chants. People want Becky. I wanted Becky. I thought that's what I wanted at the time. But these ladies, in an effort to kind of throw all you motherfuckers off the set, delivered a high-powered, high-octane, amazing back-and-forth encounter, which I am going to call the match of the night on this one. I'm calling it the match of the night.
Charlotte Rhea?
I'm calling Charlotte Rhea match of the night. The fact that they can turn the crowd and have this type of thing and lead to a decisive finish and stuff like that. I love Edge and Roman Reigns. And they had the crowd in the palm of their hand too. But I feel like what Rhea and Charlotte did at Money in the Bank was they went above and beyond, and they defied what I guess was expected. That's what I'm getting. This is my opinion. Just my opinion.
I can't rock with that, but I respect you. I'm gonna shake your hand.
All right. I love that. I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna shake your hand on that one. I thought that the men's Money in the Bank was one of the best ones in years. I thought it was I was literally like, I don't know who's gonna win this. I was literally like, who the fuck is gonna win this?
They had every all-star there.
Yeah, I was like, I have no clue. There was a point, right before Big E grabbed it, I was like, it could literally be anyone, and I'd be like, all right, cool, let's do it.
You know, we got to talk about before that men's Money in the Bank match. Fucking Peacock.
That was crazy.
Peacock. Listen, what was that about? I haven't heard anything about my free month yet. By the way, my free additional month.
You're not gonna get that.
I lived to see Kevin Owens' pop, and I couldn't even. The shit's in.
Rewatch it. It's on VOD. Rewatch it.
I live to see. It's not the same. Watch it on demand versus live. It's not the same. I'm sorry, Peacock. You owe me a free month. I'm sorry, a couple free months because the shit lasted like 10 minutes. I missed the Riddle promo. I missed all types of talking and jibber jabber and all types of shit like that. I missed it all.
It was bad. It was bad. It was about a good 10 minutes. I think we missed every single entrance.
Every single fucking one.
People missed every single, and that was the most entrances of the night. That was the match that everyone wanted to see, and it was y'all couldn't have done that during the pre-show or something like that. That was the weirdest thing ever. I was like, I had no clue what was going on. My shit started stuttering, bro. I was like, all right, well,
I was like, Ricochet? That you?
Then niggas started capping. I'm like, all right, y'all.
Listen.
Let's not forget WrestleMania 30. The niggas was definitely looking at the scramble screen on WrestleMania 30 when the network debuted. Let's stop the cap. All right.
Listen. Network gave me problems. From time to time. I will 100% admit that. I'll say Peacock. This is the first major problem. Besides your terrible UI.
Thank you for not lying.
Besides your terrible UI, your disgustingly terrible user interface. That is terrible. This is the first major problem. But it was a problem that went on forever. The problem that I had to look for an illegal stream just so I could I'm trying to see my people come out. You know what I'm saying? Shinsuke Nakamura gets one entrance that we can all sing along to.
They were singing. I guess Peacock was like, this is crowd exclusive, I guess.
Peacock said this is a Patreon exclusive entrance.
Ricochet MVP of that match?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he showed up and showed out. He delivered what we all wanted.
I think it goes Ricochet, then it goes KO, then it goes Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody else kind of falls however you want to fall. John Morrison did some dumb shit, so I can't count him in
I forgot what he did.
In the top 3. He did that stupid. He did the impact elbow, the little flipping elbow drop, and missed completely.
Oh yeah, that was dumb.
And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, are you high?
He chilling. You got drip sticks now. We got merch.
Can we talk about some pops here? Let's talk about some pops here.
Okay.
KO's over.
KO's over like Rover. From what I can hear about it, I gotta go back.
Big E's real over.
Big E's amazingly over.
Ricochet's over.
Ricochet's over when they put him on TV. Yes.
Riddle.
We could talk about Don Raw.
Okay.
He over like Rover.
Okay,
He's certified. What I got the handshake.
What I say a couple months ago.
Listen, you had the handshake. Listen, it's a movie now. We're off to the races. We've been there, but the stock is just now on a different level.
Yeah,
Riddle coin is just.
Hey, I'm buying stock quietly.
Listen, buy that Riddle cryptocurrency, man. It's booming right now.
$sign RID, man. I'm buying it. I mean, we don't even got to. I mean, obviously, we got to bring this up. This was ironically happened right before the show, but
ironic, or did Nick Khan?
No, okay, he can't control all of that. Come on. He's not the fucking Godfather.
My son Nick Khan gave her the hush money.
Oh, you talking like he's motherfucking Kaiser Soze, bro. You can't make that happen, okay? But Riddle's sexual assault case was dropped. It was settled, and the lawyer, the attorney of the accuser, said that they are moving on, and that was the past, and that they're moving on, and that she's dropped all charges against him.
Mm.
Does this make the conversation easier? I know that there's going to be people that, and they're absolutely allowed to believe women at all times.
Absolutely.
But what about this conversation do you think changes? I think there's a lot of people that wanted to talk about how great Riddle is in ring that feel as though they can do that now. We don't have to talk about him as the guy. We know what he's alleged of. We know that.
So I think just in terms of the conversation regarding what he's actually said, what he's actually admitted to, what he feel like he's done and what he feels like he hasn't done, and necessarily things like that. But I do think that, listen, people are going to sway whatever they want to sway. We're talking about him purely in ring and kind of like deciding kind of things off of that character. But the internet wrestling community never forgets. They will bring things out of your past. And it's not even just the internet wrestling community. It's literally all of the internet. The thing is just that if you have something like this, it's going to plague you forever in a way. They're going to bring it up no matter what. But I think just everything that they've been doing this far will enamor people enough to maybe, focus the conversation regarding just everything in ring. That's what I think was going to happen. Because the character is too relevant on TV, it's too strong. It's such a maybe if he's like this aggressive Jackson Riker guy, the conversation continues. Like how it does actually for Jackson Riker, and his conversation will always continue to wreck on because he looks like someone who represents what he represents. Yeah. But Matt Riddle's character is such a departure and it's so aloof that I think people are just going to, just have fun, have as much fun as they can. And if you don't, then I completely understand why.
I think that Riddle better be thanking whatever deity he believes in, because you don't get another chance at this shit. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. And I don't think anyone's going to give him any type of quarter, any type of country to fuck up anything else ever again.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not. So, yeah.
I agree. Women's Money in the Bank. How did you feel about that match?
I'm always a little about their ladder matches though.
Because, I mean, the thing is, it's like, I don't think anyone in the match is doing the stunts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The stunts that the match needs. First of all, shout out to Liv Morgan, because
she worked her ass off.
Yeah, and I think this entire weekend has kind of been, I think they needed crowds to kind of recapture this moment and refocus kind of like on the trajectory of Liv, because we've seen a lot of stops and starts with Liv. Now, do I think she still needs work in the ring? Absolutely. But we've seen a lot of starts and stops with her. But I think just moving forward, this crowd thing, just her reaction on Friday Night SmackDown and her reaction on Money in the Bank was affirmation that they're heading in the right direction with her, and they need to continue pushing forward with her. But yeah, really not a lot of stunts, to be honest with you. You had Natalya and Tamina in the match. That took up like at least 25% of stunts in this match.
Anytime they were in the ring, the fans stopped. They sat on their hands.
Listen, TJ was in Natalya's ear, telling everyone where to move around, etc., etc. I guess, yeah, they need the stunts in this match. I think Alexa Bliss looked great.
Yeah, she was the most over person in the match.
Yeah, she looked great.
I didn't have any doubt in my mind that she was going to be as popular as she was, because they love this type of shit. They love this type of shit. Fans love this type of shit, and she was over. I thought that they did really well to protect her in the match. I thought that a lot of people didn't like the ending, the ending of the match, and I was just like, I mean, it's never been done before.
I think it plays with Nikki's character. I mean, we'll talk about Nikki a lot more when he had the Monday Night Raw, but I think it definitely plays into her character of kind of like even seeming beyond, with everything that's kind of going on with all these stars and stuff like that, just her grabbing it off the side, just being able to do her own thing and ascend the way that she ascends. I'm looking way deeper into this than I guess anyone ever imagined. But like, everyone else is fighting, everyone's destroying each other, and she just plucks it. It describes her character perfectly. It describes the trajectory of her career perfectly, and it describes what happened on Monday Night Raw perfectly.
Yeah.
Just kind of how she just kind of grabs it. You know, everyone else is killing each other, and she just grabs it. She takes the opportunity.
And we should have known. We should have known. We should have known. Anything? Oh, no, we got to talk about the main event.
Oh, first of all, we got to talk about Bobby versus Kofi.
Do we?
You gotta talk about Bobby versus Kofi. Kofi got squizoshed, man, like a bug.
It was a match that needed to happen for Bobby. I think at this point, with fans coming back, no more women, no more MVP lounges. They needed to establish him as a serious character, and with what we know is coming up for him. What?
I don't want U.S. title run Bobby back. I'll be honest with you.
This makes more sense. This makes more sense than when he had the U.S. title, though.
I feel like, of course, because we know the trajectory that it's heading towards, because there's a lot of conversations once the news broke out earlier in the weekend about who's coming back and stuff like that. Everything makes a lot more sense going for it. But like, I just think this is making sense going into SummerSlam, but I would rather it not last that long again. Because we had the conversations top of this year, late last year, that what are they doing? Because they're feeding everybody to him. They're just doing it. And who does this benefit? They fed Riddle to him. They fed everybody to him late last year. And the character was just some sweaty, aggro, bald black guy. And, it just doesn't do it to me. It doesn't do a good service for Bobby in the long run. Because we know that he's capable of more. Maybe I'm putting at that, but I'm not completely sure. But we'll see how it goes. I think leading into what we're leading to, which we'll talk about on Monday Night Raw, this makes perfect sense.
In one way, I want to be like, he's probably not long for this title with as many challenges as he'll have coming.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I'm gonna keep it 100. I want Goldberg to beat him.
Ooh.
So yeah, main event.
Wait. All right, one more thing before we hit the main event, because we talked about the Money in the Bank ladder match, but we didn't talk about Big E winning it and what that means.
Oh yeah.
Big E wins the Money in the Bank ladder match. Where do you feel like he should go? What do you feel like he should do?
They're teasing Roman, and I feel like when they tease that type of shit, you usually don't get it.
Yeah.
So I'm cautiously not optimistic about the Roman thing, because I feel like Big E won't cash. I don't know. Here's the thing. I feel like he wouldn't cash before until 2022. But I mean, with Nikki, I did feel like Nikki was going to cash that pretty fast. I did feel like that they weren't going to have her hold it.
I feel like, so here's my thing with Money in the Bank and the I guess the speed of the cash-ins. Where do the plans lie? Do you figure Big E, like, let's look at last year. Did we ever figure Otis into plans for any major event, especially leading to WrestleMania? No.
Not yet. No.
Big E, do you see him figuring in the plans? Could you see him in a main event slot at WrestleMania?
Not right now.
I feel like there's definitely a possibility if they play their cards right. August to now is a very long time. I think it's a lot more valid than Otis. I'll tell you that. You know, but
we
we'll
know
see.
why Otis. Well, we know the Otis thing, why that had to happen.
I feel like with Big E, it's not going to be completely similar to the Miz. He wins the title and we immediately dismiss it. I think they have too much stock in him, too much confidence in him. They want to be able to do things with him in the future, for him not to be a fair weather cash in, oh, he's champion, Jack Swagger type.
Yep.
So, Big E, big plans. Shout everything moving for him. I mean, he has two options. He has get revenge or go legend. And either way, I'm happy, to be honest with you. But yeah, let's talk about the main event. We can finally get to the main event.
I'll say this right now. I'm leaning towards him going to beat Bobby.
I feel like it because it's the least obvious of both choices.
Yeah.
But
they're hammering,
and it's the
easiest
thing to do too.
Yeah, they're hammering at home. They're really
But if not Big E to beat Roman, who beats Roman? If not this situation where a guy who's been around for a long time, a guy who definitely has the credibility. If you do this for Big E, you create a big star. I don't know if the same thing happens if Big E beats Bobby. You know,
unless they do an angle after it.
Right. I think it's a big moment for Big E if he beats Roman, because no one has really done it. I think he should, whether it'll actually happen or not, I don't know. But I think he should beat Roman. And Roman has more than enough space and validity and Usos and all this other shit to get it back. But I think he should beat Roman. I don't know.
No. All right, main event.
Sad.
Main event time. I thought Roman and real quick before we go to break. We're like at an hour now. I thought it was a great example of how you get the crowd to eat out of your hands. I saw a lot of people saying like it was moving a little too slow, and I said they're doing this because there's a crowd now. You notice now in these matches that they're all built towards crowd reaction. Look at Charlotte and Rhea. They're all built towards that now. They're not built towards just having matches anymore.
Well, I think so, especially considering this comes after a massive Money in the Bank match. They did the beginning of it move slow because it was supposed to on purpose. The beginning was supposed to ease people back in, especially from this Big E thing that just happened. It was supposed to ease people back in. It was supposed to get them back kind of a little bit in a thing. So when the ending comes, they'll be shocked back for it. It was low on purpose. and the police are coming as always. But it was a low on purpose in this situation. But yeah, like you said, it was a master class in getting the people to eat out of their hands.
Yeah, I mean, you already know what it is. Like, I think more than anything, that I feel like Edge had a lot to prove singles wise, because he's had very few singles matches since he's come back, and I think he absolutely proved that he can still hang. The pacing of the matches are different. Edge is not like killing himself to get people over anymore, but I think the story of the chair, the little handle on the chair was brought in really well. I love the spot with the ref. Shout out to Charles Robinson. I hope he's okay. It looks like his knee actually did get blown out.
Damn, I thought he was selling.
No, I saw the actual like Pat Buck and the other guys come out, and they were carrying him to the back.
Oh damn.
I thought the overbooking was overbooked well. I thought it made sense with Mysterio's coming out, being the baby faces to Edge, helping against the Usos. That feud's still ongoing, but with Seth coming out, obviously we're getting into the mode. Like I said,
and spinning the block too. The man, he didn't just come out once. He was like, "Yo, I'm making sure this nigga's dreams is over."
I love that, and I think that's what Money in the Bank did, that I feel as though a lot of like not many pay-per-views do, is funnel you into the next one and funnel you into the weekly programs. And WWE does not even do this often or well at all, but it funneled you into what's coming next. And we got what was next. We got Edge and Seth, which we know was coming, and now that's official. And we got the return of John Cena. And as big as we said that Edge pop was, the John Cena pop to me was probably one of the greatest ones of this generation, of this era, period.
It was the calm before the storm that happened. It was Roman Reigns getting his victory lap. It was everything had kind of just passed by. Edge and Rollins had been fighting onto the crowd. They're getting out of Dodge. Roman Reigns wanted to get on the mic and being like, "Yo, fuck you guys. I've been waiting for a whole year to tell you fuck you guys. And I can't wait to do this." And then John Cena just emerging. And can we talk about the commentary? Can we talk about it?
Absolutely. Pat McAfee.
Michael Cole's voice cracking.
Can I just go ahead and say it? Like, they're the best commentary team in the game right now.
Oh yeah, easily. I don't know what the other guy on Raw is doing, but it ain't that. I'm telling you.
Jimmy Smith is fine. The thing about Jimmy Smith is not bad.
He's not bad.
He's just what they need.
Yeah.
Like, he's not trying to provide anything more than what he gives. And I think for him to be completely fine, he fits into that Tom Phillips mold where he gives you exactly what you need.
I don't know. Tom Phillips, give me a little more.
All right, this nigga, what is is he actually your friend? Like,
yes, he's my friend in my head. Yes,
Jesus
I love
Christ.
Tom Phillips. I don't know Jimmy Smith. I don't know that nigga. Sorry. You know what I was booking him in? Jimmy Smith. He got the UFC background, right?
Yeah.
So that means he the only person behind the table with hands.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I give him that.
All right, let's give him that. Someone approaches them at the table, I'm expecting him to stand up and
All right. Moving on.
That's what I'm expecting.
Moving on. So I mean, John Cena comes out. This is gonna funnel us right into Monday Night Raw. So we're gonna talk about Raw after this break on the A Show. We'll be right back.
What am I here for? The WWE Universal Championship. When, about 5 weeks from now, a little event called SummerSlam. Where? Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas. That's a pretty safe place to bet. Why? Here's where it gets interesting. I can stand here excited and tell you about the pageantry of SummerSlam, about being a main event in a packed stadium. I could tell you about a history-making, record-breaking 17th championship win. It's not because of any of that. It's because Roman Reigns is an ass.
Roman Reigns is an asshole.
What a good way to kick off Monday. It felt special again. It's rare that you get these moments post pay-per-view where it leads right into what it just, like you said, right from where it ended, it picks up right again, and you're telling these stories. WWE rarely, once again, tells these stories that are fulfilling in this way. And John Cena goes anywhere. John Cena is not, he doesn't follow brands or whatever the hell it is. He's John Cena. He lives, he breathes, he exists. Or you can see him, you can't see him.
What?
It was. What do you? I mean, you can't see him. But this was a great way to kick off Raw. I'll say that.
It seems as though he's going to be on every damn show for the next couple of weeks. They got a Summer of Cena tour where he's going to be appearing.
They got that nigga working. I think he's off one Raw.
And that's probably, I think it's like mid-August, I want to say. Yeah. I think it might be for a premiere for the Suicide Squad. But other than that, he's working. Again, really great opening segment. Cena still got it, man. This guy, listen, one of the best promos that we got.
A little Jim Carrey, a little too Jim Carrey for me. He's getting very animated, but guess what? I guess that's his shtick. You know what I'm saying?
The Rock did that when he came back too. I think being away and then having to give scripts in so many different ways, it makes you like have that little goofy ass demeanor. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like I gotta give it a different way. So I get
it. Absolutely. I'll agree with that.
So we got Cena and Roman SummerSlam. I feel like everyone should be like feeling real stupid for saying that they think that Cena was too busy to do it, even though everyone was saying that he was going to be there. Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, people really don't know how schedules work, and I think that that's the funny part. Like, do they think that Cena's still filming the movie? In that he's not in a pandemic, that he's going to actually do actual press for these movies at places.
Yes. Because people are stupid. People are stupid. I don't know what to say that. But nonetheless, I'm glad he's here. I would like him to stick around until Madison Square Garden, but that's not what the Summer of Cena apparently looks like. But I'm glad we're here. Roman versus Cena, that's my jam. I hope he's ready. I hope he's prepared. Do you think he will fight before SummerSlam? You think he gets in a match on SmackDown or something?
Yeah, he absolutely is going to be doing some tag matches. He got to get the rust out. Yeah, okay. You got to get the rust out. He's for sure going to be wrestling before. It's just a matter of who.
Who in NXT is getting him with his reps and shit?
Oh god. Santos maybe. Santos was tweeting a lot about him, and Santos was also the guy that helped one of the guys that helped Bad Bunny. So,
ooh, okay.
I could see him getting some reps in. Santos was tweeting a lot about John Cena the other night, and I feel like I think he does have. If he did go to PC, he was probably one of the guys that helped out. I see John facing both Usos in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
I see
Maybe at
John
the same time.
Yeah, I see. I see him and Edge teaming up. That'd be cool.
Listen. Him and Edge teaming up. It's not a dream match, but it's something that we haven't seen before. In a while. I'm lying. We definitely have seen it before in 2002.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't seen it in a while. But hey, I'm ready for it.
Riddle comes out. It's the rub. Over under on how long before he's the WWE champion?
Next year.
Okay.
Next year after WrestleMania. Definitely after WrestleMania.
I raise you. I take that and I raise you Royal Rumble winner.
Wow, Royal Rumble winner. Wow.
He was in the final. He was in the Final Four this year.
Wow.
He was in the Final Four this year.
No, I'm not saying that, but a strong declaration that Riddle's time is coming. You're saying that it's here. It's now. We're moving towards it at a rapid pace.
Who shook hands with John Cena? Who had John Cena saying they catchphrase? Who's on TV? Who's on TV having 2 commercial matches every week?
Listen,
I'm just saying. Hey,
you got the cosign. You got the cosign. You got the cosign. What can I say?
The burden of proof is overwhelming at this point as to like where they want to go with this guy, and if you're denying it for selfish reasons, or for moral ones, I get it, but it's happening for him, and that's where it is. Let's get to the elephant in the room here. There's a lot of stuff that happened on SmackDown. Not SmackDown, on Raw.
On Raw.
Karrion Kross showed up. My emotions for this went up and down. It went from this motherfucker is really gonna enter like that to holy shit, they're actually gonna like really have him like be like that. Like they're actually gonna have him enter like that. Like he's actually gonna enter the ring like that.
Is it weird that, all right, maybe it's my Nostradamus thing kicking in. I thought Jeff was going to win.
I did too.
Is it weird? Like,
No.
Is it the no more words set me off? They love
the
that.
No more words.
Song.
The no more words should have been a clue. But like I think
and crowds
and Kross's lack of reaction in comparison, he just looked like more of a star in comparison to Karrion coming out there. Karrion looked small. He looked like honestly not that impressive coming out.
But here's the thing, right? He's a different species on NXT than he is on the main roster.
Yes.
He's a completely in NXT, he's the big hoss guy, but he's not even really that big and he's not really even that hossy. You know what I'm saying? It's just everyone else there is smaller and nimble. But on Monday Night Raw, this is what I've said from the beginning. I always pigeonholed him in kind of the Rusev slot because he's around this. I think Rusev may be a little shorter, but he's around the same size, same gimmick, same build.
Gimmick. Yeah, same gimmick, same like not the same look, but the same thing. And okay, God, this is like such a wide spanning argument. So
sure,
you got people saying that because Karrion lost, this is an indictment on Vince McMahon and how he feels about NXT. I don't think that's true.
No, because he calls up NXT people every day.
He's called up people literally days ago. I think that people are going with it's what he
Bianca
represents.
Belair. Come on, Bianca Belair.
He said like it's what it represents, man. He's the champion. He represents NXT. I'm like, no.
Yeah, no.
He didn't lose clean, for one. They did a lot of things. They did a lot of things to make this finish as screwy as possible, okay?
Right.
Jeff Hardy pinned him not clean. Karrion had a promo saying, that's fine. I'm going to whip your ass after the fact. He didn't just go away from it. There are a lot of the thing about arguments about wrestling or in general on Twitter and on social media is that a lot of them are very self-serving, performative, and not very they don't have the full context. There are certain points that are true. One of them being, yes, when you get called up, you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan for sure. Two, when you get called up, you need to. There is a definite disconnect between what you are and, like you said, there's a disconnect between NXT and what main roster is. But I also feel like on the other end, that disconnect is only for certain people, because certain people aren't booked that way. They had Adam Cole beating Daniel Bryan on his first night on TV.
But here's the thing: Adam Cole was never. That Adam Cole thing was in service to a program. You know what I'm saying? So there was a plan for that. Karrion Kross is now on the main roster, so the entire sheet for him is different than I think with the Adam Cole thing. I think even with the Shotzi and Knox thing, their call up is because it's such low hanging. There's nowhere the fucking tag team. Like there's nowhere but up. You know what I'm saying? There's been people who most people who get called up, there's typically a plan. There's typically months in advance, things like that. But we know we're in different times right now. Vince McMahon goes to the PC a couple weeks ago.
And all of a sudden, all these people get called out.
All of a sudden, everyone gets called up. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people weren't figured into the plans. Obviously, I think he was looking towards, we're having crowds back. We need a lot more people to service the show. whatever you guys got, and here's what we got. I think Karrion, and then I think also on the other hand, this is just speculation. I feel like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, as much as they want to work with Karrion Kross, knows that that's not the best environment for him down in NXT.
No.
And that's why they were so, they were able to give him up. But I do think, and this is also a hot take, I think the reason why it wasn't the best environment for him in NXT is a lot because of Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, because they tried to create a character that, while it seemed cool last year in the pandemic before he got injured, I said this, I was like, he's giving NXT different matches. I said, we don't need 30-minute, 40-minute matches anymore. They need to change the whole style. Right. And they've done that without him. They've edited themselves without him.
But also you establish the kind of trajectory in NXT is you typically work your way from the bottom. The crowd, as it is, it's no longer, it's the third brand now. It's no longer really a developmental brand, but there's a lot of development that goes on from a week to week basis with a lot of these characters. A lot of these characters are still finding themselves on a week to week basis. You didn't truly establish that with Karrion Kross. You put him out there, you put him on a high pedestal, you had him beat Keith Lee, and he shot straight to the top with no context, no similar context to everyone on NXT who gets the grind, who gets the build, who gets the 6-person ladder match, who gets all that other stuff to kind of put themselves over. And you didn't get that. So in NXT, it just doesn't work. But in the main roster, I feel like we're overreacting. I do think a loss is certainly damning in some instance, but in another instance, it creates a world where Karrion Kross has to kind of work his way up to the top.
Yeah.
It creates a world where he has to become this multi-dimensional star who isn't defined by a streak, as most other Hosses who come up, as most of the Rusevs and who else was fucking had a streak?
Asuka.
And all these things. You're not defined by the streak. Now you have to build in a character. Now you have
more people are upset because he had the title and it made him look crazy because he lost with the title. And I'm like, I ain't gonna say the title don't mean nothing, but I ain't gonna say that
the title ain't getting defended on WWE television, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, they just had
lose anyway.
They had Sasha lose on NXT a year ago, literally, to Io. So what do you mean?
I get the title conversation, but the title is very much so a prop in this situation, because the NXT title isn't going to be defended on Monday Night Raw on a weekly basis. This isn't a champion where they have to keep him strong because we got to worry about NXT. They not worry about NXT on the main roster. You know what I'm saying? I think it's wild they even had him bring out the belt anyway, to be honest with you. I think they needed it. I think it's the USA synergy of like, okay, NXT is on this, we want to showcase this, that, and the third. But Karrion Kross, he's not representing NXT.
Bro, y'all don't like him. Y'all don't like him anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But a large part is he's not representing NXT on Monday Night Raw. He's Monday Night Raw as Karrion Kross.
Yeah, he's Monday Night Raw guy that has the NXT title. And he's going to lose it soon. My thing is that like you hold these conversations in a vacuum, and then it becomes everyone is treated like this. And I saw a picture saying, "Well, they did the same thing to Andrade. They did the same thing to Aleister Black." I'm like, no, they didn't. What do you mean? That never happened.
No, it never happened. I think people definitely want to come up with this narrative that WWE doesn't build stars, or they don't build them, and they may not build them in the way that you want it, but there are plenty of stars, and everyone may not get the same treatment as they did in NXT, but they're certainly stars. But
I know one thing.
Well, go ahead.
I know one thing. I said this last night. Karrion just doesn't have the cachet of everybody else in that roster. Gargano was able to beat their, but I think Revival was tag team champs at the time, or there was like the top tag team at the time when they came up,
right?
For that 1 week. Not everyone is the same, because not everyone is the same.
Right.
Let's just be clear here. I think if Gargano came out, pop. I think if Ciampa came out, pop.
Right.
I think if Io came out, pop. Let's keep it the men. I think if Santos came out, for sure, pop. I think if a lot of those guys that came out right now that they loved, Pete Dunne, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, pop. All of it. Karrion Kross is not that guy. This is not the same situation as everyone else is putting it into. Whether he's a champion or not, that's the one thing I'll blame them for. That's the one thing I'll blame Triple H and Shawn for. He should have dropped that title in your house. He should have dropped that title in your house.
Right.
He was outclassed in that match. He looked stupid. He should have dropped it then. But when he goes to Raw and loses, I look at it like, okay, they're trying to do something different. I'm trying to do something different. Okay. But we're not about to have no argument. We're not about to have no argument with Karrion Kross. We're not about to have no argument.
No, I don't care. Because this is Monday Night Raw. I mean, and this is the same reactionary we get to a lot of debuts. At the internet gets very reactionary to certain debuts, but it's the same thing. And then you find out like 6 months later that, oh, now they're wrestling this, and the third, and it doesn't matter. Just give it time. How many times do people have to tell you? Just give it time. Like, you want this right now, and you want Karrion Kross to be this thing right now. How do you know Karrion Kross is the guy? How do you know Vince McMahon sees that Karrion Kross is the guy? How do you know that he has the skills to pay the bills just because he's an NXT champion?
That's the thing, Meelz. They said that he don't. So why y'all mad now? It's the craziest shit ever. Let's talk about somebody that actually is the guy, or the girl rather. Main event. Charlotte versus Rhea. Another good match.
Mm-hmm.
Another good
match.
Not gonna lie.
I like it. I don't usually like booking the same match over and over and over again, but this one works.
Charlotte wins by DQ. Rhea beats her ass, gives her a riptide on the outside. Nikki Ash comes out, cashes in, is the new Raw Women's champion. I think if you hated everything up to that point in the show, which, I mean, the show is up and down. It was Raw. It was definitely up and down all night. I think that was a good ending to go out on. It made me like, okay, what's going to happen next week?
I agree. I like it. I think it's... No, I like it. I don't know what to say. I like Nikki Ash. I think we're getting this over with quickly because we're going to get it over with quickly. But I like where she's going. I think if they end up pulling a triple threat match at SummerSlam, I'm not mad at it, because I think she at least deserves an opportunity on a pay-per-view to defend the championship. People are still, you know what? I'll leave Becky out of the conversation because Nikki Ash deserves a lot more than this. She's someone who, from NXT, we had the character in NXT, and I thought it was a great character nonetheless. She moves to Monday Night Raw. She's a little bit different. They move forward with that character on Monday Night Raw, or Friday Night SmackDown, or wherever the hell she debuted. I forget at this point. They don't move forward. Yeah, they don't move forward with that character. They smooth out the ends a little bit. They make her a much more of a fully formed person. I'm not totally mad at it because she still has the same enthusiasm that she's always had. And I think that enthusiasm carried her. She saw the spot that she was in, or the lack of spot that she was in, being the Nikki Cross character. She said, I wanted to change it up. She made the pitch as Nikki Ash, superhero, knew that it would connect to fans, knew that it would connect to Vince, made the pitch, made the call, dressed up in the suit, and 4 weeks later, she's Raw Women's Champion. That's how you clear a bitch. That's how you clear a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
That's how you do it. You don't tell Vince that you fucking sit on your couch eating bonbons with fucking 10 guy in the garage. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, make solid pitches.
I saw people so mad at the Karrion thing that they didn't even care about the Nikki thing, and I was like, okay, well, there goes the new. They're from NXT, but you said they were hated, but they tried something new. But right? Okay, no. Only when it's something that you want, right? Okay, I got it. This. She beat Charlotte.
She beat Charlotte.
Charlotte to Charlotte again. I feel like Charlotte takes a lot of heat for the sins of booking, and I think that, like, if you the easiest thing to do, just like, you know, the easiest thing to do, like, on anything, is to beat somebody that's tenured in the champion. Like, they use Charlotte to get Nikki into that spot, the same way they did for Becky, the same way they did for for everybody else that beat Charlotte. Right. They used her to get somebody over, and they did it again.
Hey, listen, I'm not mad at it. There's nothing I can be mad at. I like the result. I like everything that come from it. It worked. Monday Night Raw. We saw a couple
Keith
returns.
Keith Lee's back.
Keith Lee's back. He's back. He's in the spot where he literally picking up where he left off. Getting tossed by Bobby. But at least he's back. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in it to win it. And at least he's in it. So there is the opportunity to show. I still think, in my opinion, Keith Lee still has a lot more to grow.
Yes.
On the main roster.
Yes.
He is not a finished product. He is not.
The pop. I'm gonna be real, yo. The pop wasn't even that crazy.
He's not a finished character yet.
The pop wasn't that crazy. You compare his pop to like Goldberg's right after. We wanted him back, yeah. But in the larger scheme of things, I think he is still very much niche in the he wasn't cleared or whatever. And a couple months where he was off, it definitely hurt the perception because he wasn't able to be on TV. He needs time. I'm not mad at him losing to the fucking dominant champion who just beat somebody's ass in like 4, 5, 7 minutes the other night, and he didn't tap out to his finish. So like I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Keith Lee needs a lot more. I think I would be more upset if he wasn't doing nothing. Well, I mean, it looks like they're doing stuff with Damian Priest now, but it's like, they're trying to get some wheels moving, and Keith just needs to get back on the saddle and keep going.
I agree. He needs to keep on the saddle, keep him moving. I think we need to build. I think we need to give him something as just, much more than affable, large gentleman who can powerbomb the shit out of you.
And talks like All Might.
Yeah, there we go. We need to give him a little bit something more. We need to ask for more and demand more. As much as we know his greatness, we need to see his greatness in full context. You know what I'm saying?
Really quick hits.
Oh, well, how did you feel about Goldberg? There was a lot of discourse about Goldberg, as there is twice a year.
I don't know why they heard the crowd, right? They heard the crowd. No, I'm serious. They heard the crowd, right? They heard when he came out. Were they silent? Was it piped in noise?
Fuck no.
It was okay. It wasn't piped in. Okay, shit. Well, what else? What else we got? Ratings? Well, they're not out yet.
Damn,
I don't know.
50-something fighting on Monday Night Raw. I wonder where. If only he was the only 50+ guy wrestling on television. We just don't. Here's my opinion. It's twice a year. Please stop. They gave him the Universal title once. That was at the beginning. They gave him it twice. I'm bugging. Yeah, they gave it to him twice. I think Bobby's going to beat the pants off this man. Going to beat the old man. Going to slap him into all types of dust.
Does he tap to the Hurt Lock? Or does he pass out?
He passes out because Goldberg never taps.
Okay. No, I mean, I think it's an establishment win.
Yeah.
Bobby needs it. Because that means whoever beats Bobby becomes the guy on Raw, Riddle.
Well, Goldberg ain't losing to no damn Riddle, I'll tell you that.
Hey, listen.
You might have to bend a knee.
I love the Riddle Rollins spots on Money in the Bank. Those are really enjoyable to me. I love that they keep playing up this rivalry that people talk about online. It's so clear that they're doing it on purpose. I like that.
Absolutely. All right, quick hits before we get out.
Reginald, 24/7 champion.
Come on, black man. Listen, get dumped, and then what's my man said? Listen, lost his queen, but he found his crown.
Hey, fuck it. We are the prize. Okay.
I love it. I love it. Let him do all types of Power Ranger moves and shit and backflips and shit. You know what I'm saying? If he winning, at least he's still winning.
Elias Jackson Reichert, Symphony of the Destruction match.
I ain't watch that shit.
Not a single person. It wasn't a bad match. Not a single fucking fucking person cared about that match. I thought it was fine.
Apparently, according to what they say, they booed him, but I guess they must have, unmiked the crowd.
It was piped in.
That's what I heard. It was piped out. It was piped out.
Oh, they turned it down? Okay, I got it.
They turned it down. It down. Because Dallas was looking I was like, all right, Dallas would be the ones who wouldn't give a fuck whether this nigga was this, that, or the third.
What else do we have on Raw? We talked about all the big stuff. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes out.
Yeah, come on. Drew McIntyre.
Y'all want to talk about Drew not over? No one gives a fuck about Drew anymore.
Man showed up like Steven Seagal, whooping ass. You beat the hell out of that man. I felt bad for him. I felt bad. 20.
Mick Foley didn't like that spot. Mick Foley didn't like that spot at all.
That's what he said? For real?
He didn't like that. He hated it. He didn't like the chair spot.
Damn. Well, listen, Mick Foley, he's still sliding that hip up and down his waist when you wake up in the morning. It's probably why he don't like it. It was a lot. I think it was. I don't even want to say borderline excessive. I think it was actually excessive. He was going on with the crowd, but you beating the shit out of that man. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta. I mean, you're gonna get his licks. But even I cringed. I was like, that's looking shaky.
But listen, man, he's over. He's gonna get the title back. So be mad all you want. He's gonna get it back sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
They want him. They want him in that spot. This is Bobby's chance to sink or swim. And I think, you know what? I'll call it right now, man. I'll put $5 on it. I'll put a sub on it. I'll put a free subscription. I'll put a sub for 1 month on it.
Can we do that?
I could just send the $5.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I could just send the $5. I'll put $5 on it. Matter of fact, I'll put 10 on it. I'll give away 2.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'll give away 2 subs for a month. Okay. If Drew has a good match with Jinder.
Ooh.
I'll put my money where my mouth is, and we can pick who gets it. Yeah.
You'll be there live, so you'll be able to. You could judge.
No, I we'll figure out how to judge this, but I'll put my money where my mouth is.
Okay. All right.
On this one, yeah.
$10, nonetheless. I think that's it for Monday Night Raw. I think that's it for a very spirited, high octane, crowd filled weekend. People, we are very much so glad to have you back. You 100% add to the show. I can't wait for you to ruin the show for J5 in a couple weeks. But until then, I mean, it's great to have him back. It's great to see these reactions. It's great to see wrestling back in its natural state. We've done this podcast for a very long time without crowds. This was amazing and refreshing to see, and I can't wait for Friday Night SmackDown this week.
Me either. And so yeah, that was this week's episode of the A Show. Long episode this week. Very long episode. Even longer if you got Patreon. But thank you guys for listening. Of course, follow me at OGJohnny5 and Meelz at Meelz TV and the A Show RNC on Twitter. Give us your takes, give us your thoughts, and let me know if you think Drew's gonna carry Jinder to. I'll give him the Bailey thing 3 stars. I'll give him the Bailey. I'll give him the Bailey Tamina.
3 stars. 3 stars.
Bailey
It'll be
Tamina.
judged by a group, a brain trust of peers. How about that? A brain trust of peers of whether it is 3 stars, non J5 peers.
Well, Channing can't be part of it. Channing can't be part of it.
Sorry, Channing. You're out. You're compromised.
Absolutely not. He cannot be part of it. He's a troll. But yeah, we'll $10. I'm putting money up. Drew Jinder. If it's 3 stars or above, I'm gonna give away 2 5 months. Or not 5. Woo! Two $5 subs on Patreon for 1 month. And you can decide
whether you want to back.
I was about to pay the whole damn a whole year.
Oh wait, we gotta let's do some Patreon shout outs.
We got some new members. Holy shit.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let me look it up. Hope y'all doing all right. Hope y'all doing fine. As we stalling for time. You got it? You want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I got some right here. Okay, of course. Shout out to. I'm not sure if we did them already, but we're gonna do it again. If we did it already, I am Jay Brandon. Welcome.
Yeah. Shout out to you, man.
Welcome to the Patreon, my friend. We also got Jaylon Steverson. Welcome to the show. Mario Lewis, love you. Thank you. And John Cowwheel.
Oh, he's a homie, man. Yeah, he's always been a supporter of our show and stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to him.
shout out to you. Listen, I'm very glad I got all these names that weren't hard. They were very easy to pronounce, by the way. Amazing. Thank you guys for subscribing to the Patreon. You can always do that at the patreon.com/theashowrnc. Of course, you get so much content. We had so much content last week. So much content. So there's more than enough to binge, more than enough to listen to. If you like hearing our voices, you can also listen to the War Report this Friday on the A Show channel. Of course, you get that one early if you're tuned into the Patreon. They've been having some amazing shows as of late. And yeah, I just want to give them a shout out because they've been doing the damn thing. Rewriters Room, I'm sure there'll be a brand new episode next week. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I'm absolutely, ready to listen to that. And of course, we have the Patreon exclusive content, the Invasion Diaries, Legendary Run. More than enough for you guys to dive into. You can follow us at the HORNC on Twitter. You can follow also us at RNC Radio Live on Twitter. We got some new playlists. We got some new podcasts. RSPN is always there. They're approaching their end this week. So make sure you listen to RSPN with Mark and Jeff at the end of this week. We also have the Black Variant with X and Van. We also have the Big Eyes podcast with Jamal and AD. What am I missing if I'm missing any? We have a brand new episode of Triple Beam Streams. What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about the reality show Alive. It's one of the funniest episodes we've ever done.
Okay. All right.
You know what, Meelz? You know what we're doing, Meelz? I'm going to announce this to you right now. We're doing JoJo next episode.
Good for you, because I haven't watched it yet. Wait. How did you get it? So you're getting everyone on the show to watch it?
I'm getting me, Dom, Pat, and Cyrus are going to talk about it on the show. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. You took too long. Anyway.
I'm fine with that. Because there's so much I have to binge on the Lookout.
Naruto? All right, we're going to talk later.
Brand new episode of Lookout next week. I got to talk about Wonder Egg Priority. Shout out to Victoria. She'll be on the show, and et cetera, et cetera.
All right, so that was the rundown of literally everything that we do. Thank you guys for listening to The A Show. We'll see you next week with more, with fans, pro wrestling talk. Peace out.